Hi, welcome back to Immersive English, where you can immerse yourself in English to a variety of topics. Today's episode, we will talk about how to train your mouth to speak English. Have you ever known every grammar rule, every vocabulary word you need, and still frozen when someone asked you a simple question in English? Your mind was ready. Your mouth was not. This happens to millions of English learners. They spend years reading. They spend years listening. They collect thousands of words in their memory. But when the moment comes to speak, their mouth feels slow, stiff, almost foreign to them. It is not because they lack knowledge. It is because they never trained the one part of language learning that actually needs physical practice, the mouth itself. Speaking English is not only a mental skill, it is a physical skill. Your lips, your tongue, your jaw, they need repetition, the same way your legs need repetition. Before you can run a long distance, you would never expect to run a marathon after only reading books about running. Yet many learners expect to speak fluently after only reading books about English. Today, we are going to change that. You will learn why silent study alone will never make you fluent. You will learn a simple daily habit that trains your mouth like a muscle. You will learn how to let go of the fear of sounding wrong. And by the end of this video, you will have a clear, practical way to start speaking with more ease starting today, not someday in the future. Let's begin with two very different habits and see which one actually builds real fluency. 2 ways to learn. Only one way to speak. There are 2 paths people take when they try to learn English. The first path looks like this. Study alone, quietly, for years. Read grammar books, watch videos, learn new words every day. Feel proud of how much is understood, but never open the mouth to actually speak. Not to a stranger, not to a coworker, not even out loud when alone. The second path looks very different. It means speaking badly, on purpose, every single day. It means mispronouncing words. It means forgetting the right word in the middle of a sentence and using the wrong one instead. It means feeling awkward again and again and continuing anyway. Here is the truth almost. No one tells you. The first path, no matter how many years it continues, rarely leads to real speaking ability. The knowledge grows. The comfort with speaking does not. Meanwhile, the second path, even though it feels uncomfortable at first, builds real fluency, faster than most people expect. Why does this happen? Because speaking is a physical skill, built through repetition, not through memorization. Your mouth needs to feel the shape of English sounds. It needs to practice moving in ways it has never moved before. No amount of silent study can train a physical movement. Only doing the movement can train it. Think about anyone who has learned to play a musical instrument. They can read every note on a page. They can understand music theory perfectly, but if their fingers never touch the instrument, they will never actually play a song. The fingers need their own training, separate from the mind. Your mouth is no different. It needs its own training, separate from your memory of vocabulary and grammar. This does not mean grammar and vocabulary do not matter. They matter deeply. They give you the material to work with, but they are not enough on their own. Speaking requires a second kind of practice, physical, repeated, and daily. The good news is this kind of practice does not need a classroom. It does not need a speaking partner. It does not even need perfect pronunciation. It only needs consistency. And that brings us to something worth exploring in more detail. The 5-minute habit. That changes everything. Imagine you just walked into a coffee shop in an English-speaking country. The person behind the counter asks a simple question: "What can I get for you today?" In your mind, the answer is easy. You know the words. You have ordered coffee 100 times in your own language, but in this moment, your mouth hesitates. The words steal far away, even though you know them. You point at the menu instead of speaking. You feel a small wave of embarrassment, even though nothing serious happened. This moment repeats itself in different forms every day for millions of learners. A question at work, a comment from a neighbor, a simple, "How was your weekend?" And every time, the gap between knowing the words and saying the words feels wider than it should. Here is what closes that gap: 5 to 10 minutes of daily mouth training. Not hours, not a complete class. Just a short, consistent habit. This can look like reading a paragraph out loud every morning. It can look like repeating a short video clip, word for word, matching the speaker's rhythm. This is called shadowing. It can look like recording yourself saying 5 sentences and listening back. None of these activities require another person. None of them require perfect grammar. They only require the mouth to move every day in the shapes of English. At first, 5 minutes a day feels like nothing. The improvement is too small to notice. But this is the same pattern behind almost every skill worth building. A small, repeated action, done consistently, becomes a completely different result over time. Return to that coffee shop scenario. 3 months later, the same question is asked: "What can I get for you today?" This time, the answer comes out naturally, without the pause, without the hesitation. Nothing dramatic changed in a single day, but every one of those small daily sessions added up, quietly, until the mouth simply knew what to do. This is the real secret behind fluency. It is never one big leap. It is many small repetitions, small enough to feel unimportant in the moment, powerful enough to change everything over time. But building this habit also means facing something harder than repetition. It means facing the fear that comes before you even open your mouth. Why your mistakes are actually working. You already know this feeling. You say a sentence out loud, and immediately you hear it. The accent, the wrong word order, the pause in the wrong place. And in that half second, a quiet voice inside you says, "That sounded wrong." This feeling stops more English learners than any grammar rule ever could. Not lack of knowledge, fear. Fear of sounding foreign. Fear of being misunderstood. Fear of judgment from someone listening. But here is something worth sitting with for a moment. That discomfort you feel when you hear your own mistakes is not a sign of failure. It is a sign of progress. When your mouth attempts a new sound and gets it wrong, your brain notices the difference between what you intended and what actually came out. That noticing is not a punishment. It is information. It is exactly how the muscles of your mouth and the pathways in your brain learn to adjust. Every awkward sentence is quietly teaching your mouth something it did not know before. Consider what happens when you record yourself speaking English and then listen back. Most people cringe. The voice sounds strange. The accent feels heavier than expected. This reaction is completely normal, and it has nothing to do with how far you still have to go. It only reflects how unfamiliar we are with the sound of our own voice. In any language, not only English, the real danger is not making mistakes. The real danger is letting the fear of mistakes stop you from speaking at all. A learner who speaks imperfectly every day will always improve faster than a learner who stays silent, waiting to feel ready. Readiness is not something that arrives on its own. It is something built, sentence by imperfect sentence. So the next time your mouth stumbles over a word, try replacing the old thought that sounded wrong with a more accurate one. That muscle just got a little stronger. This shift, small as it seems, changes everything about how practice feels. And it leads directly into a question worth asking. Where should this practice actually happen? Practice where no one is watching. Most learners believe that real speaking practice requires another person, a teacher, a partner, a classroom full of other students. This belief, more than anything else, keeps people waiting for the right class, waiting for someone available to practice with, waiting for a real conversation to happen. But some of the most effective practice happens in complete privacy, with no one listening at all. Picture someone driving to work alone, repeating phrases out loud along with a podcast. Picture someone in the shower, quietly narrating their morning plans in English, just to hear the words leave their mouth. Picture someone recording a 30-second video on their phone, watching it back, adjusting one sound, then recording it again. None of these moments involve another person. None of them require permission, scheduling, or money. And yet, each one trains the mouth just as effectively as a conversation would, sometimes more effectively, because there is no pressure, no audience, no fear of being judged. This is worth noticing. The lack of a speaking partner, the lack of a class, the lack of a perfect learning environment, these are not obstacles. They are opportunities. Limitations force creativity. They force a learner to find practice in ordinary moments instead of waiting for ideal ones. There is real value in building this skill quietly before ever showing it to anyone else. A private habit of speaking out loud, even to an empty room, builds a foundation. By the time a real conversation happens with a coworker, a stranger, a new friend, the mouth has already rehearsed the shapes, the rhythms, the sounds, dozens of times before. So the constraint of having no one to practice with is not a reason to wait. It is a reason to begin now, in the ordinary, unwatched moments of an average day. And once that foundation is built quietly, the only thing left to do is take the first real step forward. Start before you feel ready. Perfect timing does not exist. There will never be a day when every word is memorized, every sound is mastered, and speaking suddenly feels completely comfortable. That day is a myth learners chase for years, while avoiding the one thing that actually builds fluency: speaking now, imperfectly, today. Many learners spend more time searching for the best app, the best course, or the best method than they spend actually practicing. This search feels productive. It feels like progress, but it often becomes a way to delay the uncomfortable part, opening the mouth and making sounds that are not yet perfect. Done is better than perfect. This applies to English speaking more than almost any other skill. A short, awkward sentence spoken out loud today teaches the mouth more than a perfect plan that never gets used. This is where English mastery and mouth training meet directly. Thinking in English, instead of translating from another language first, becomes possible only through repetition, the same repetition that trains the mouth. Listening habits, like shadowing a short video every day, train the ear and the mouth together, since hearing a sound clearly and producing it are closely connected. The path forward does not require a perfect plan. It requires one small action, repeated daily. Reading one paragraph out loud tomorrow morning, shadowing one video for 5 minutes tonight, recording one 30-second voice memo before bed. None of these actions need to be impressive. They only need to happen. This brings us to a simple way to put everything from today into practice. Here is a simple tool to carry forward: the pause rule. Before speaking in English, resist the urge to plan the perfect sentence first. Pause for 1 second, then speak. Even if the sentence is not perfect, this trains the mouth to move without waiting for permission from the mind. Alongside this, ask yourself 3 questions at the end of each day. First, did I move my mouth in English today, even for 5 minutes? Second, did I let a mistake stop me, or did I keep going? Third, what is one small, private moment tomorrow where I can practice out loud, in the car, in the shower, or alone in a room? These questions take less than a minute to answer, but answered honestly, day after day, they build the exact habit this video has been describing. Your mouth does not need years of silent study. It needs daily movement, small and consistent, starting today. Every awkward sentence, every imperfect recording, every quiet moment of practice in the car or the shower. These are not signs of struggle. They are the training itself. You are capable of this. Not someday, when everything feels ready. Today, exactly as you are now. If this video helped you, give it a like, share it with someone learning English, and subscribe for more episodes like this one. And in the comments, tell us which lesson from today you are going to practice first. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next episode.